Afternoon, everybody. How are we all doing? All good? Afternoon, Fulfilling TV. Good name, good name. So, interesting morning that. Might have a U-turn on the Russian issue. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Got potentially some news from Ukraine. We'll see what happens on that. I was just quickly checking if I've banked anything this morning. Yes. Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, so just quick recap of this morning. 0.5% in profit on H1M5. 0.25% banked this morning on that one. H4M15, nothing banked, but a little bit of profit sitting there. Mean reversion with trend, got 0.75% banked, 0.5% banked on cot bias and euro yen long playing out at the moment, which is interesting. So yeah, banked a little bit. Not taking any trades much this morning though. Yeah, news this morning. Obviously, we had that big drop at the open. Markets came down very hard at the open across the board. Big drop in London, and the US dollar had a big spike in London, and then the Ukraine announced, or rather Russia announced, Lavrov announced that there may be a way forward with talks, and the Ukraine have said they want to have a meeting within the next 24 hours or 48 hours to discuss a potential way forward. And the Russians have come out and basically said if Ukraine refused to join NATO, it would considerably assist to alleviate Russia's fears. They have not said they will not invade. They have said it might help. Evening, Diamond. Afternoon, even. Fanor. Buenos dias. Yeah, so we got some news obviously coming. And the collapse that we saw this morning, which was the market reacting to potential, or rather the push on the US dollar, the push on the yen, etc., all happening this morning, reacting to potential outbreak of war, flipped as soon as they said, actually, we might have a meeting. So, yeah, interesting manipulation this morning across the board. So all these yens that we had have put in basically a little W and straight back up to where they were at the Asian lows. So wiped out basically this morning, completely wiped out this morning. Indecision, complete indecision in the market at the minute. Everybody's sitting on their hands going, I've no idea what to do. So yeah, weird old moves, isn't it? We've just this few days now, we've seen some weird moves in the market. It's just like, it's all weird at the minute. Very weird. So US dollar has basically pulled back, afternoon Neo, and then pushed back up again. So the US dollar is still pushing. We did correct that spike this morning, but the market is still bullish US dollar. And the markets that we had this morning on the indices are basically starting to reverse. So, yeah. We'll see what happens. But we had quite a few ADR hits, obviously, on the yens today. These ADR hits that we had were based off... Oops, why is that going to zoom out? Were based off that yen movement. So Aussie dollar yen, obviously, they all came off. I mean, I said this morning, don't take these because it looks like we could have a massively strong yen. I don't know did anybody take any of these yen reversals this morning? Did anybody get in any of these? All these yens that hit 125, 100 ADR. I said basically don't take them because there's a likelihood we will see continued yen strength ahead of the potential outbreak from in Russia and Ukraine. And obviously what they've said this morning is basically put that one massive candle in which reversed the whole thing. So if you did take any of these yens this morning, well done. They've all worked. But it's real indecision that as to basically they've just cancelled off the fears, but I don't think the market is going to take that. I think the market is still going to come down and continue this afternoon in the direction that we moved this morning. So we will see. Aussie dollar Swiss. So again, all the Swiss franc movements that we had this morning, yeah, same thing. The yen and the Swiss, money piles into it when there's any risk around. And obviously the Swiss and the yen have all done exactly the same thing this morning. So those movements that we had on the Swiss francs and those movements that we had on the yens have all basically done that reversal shape. The only other one we've had that is different is Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, which has decided to push up again. This thing's relentless. Absolutely relentless. We haven't made the new highs though yet. So we have just tapped up into the highs. Big strong candle. But we are there. So this next kind of 12 hours or so is going to be very telling as to what's going to happen with this Aussie New Zealand. I'd love to see a massive bullish engulfing going in now and just give us a reversal on that. That will be kind of my indication of the final push. So since for the last 2 weeks, basically all of last week and all of the week before, we had lots and lots of wicks to the upside on this. And lots of rejection up at these highs. So people would have been piling in shorts on these. Initial 2 week ago shorts liquidity runs would have been at the high. So big bearish engulfing. Everybody jumped in short. Didn't get enough profit to get out of the positions. Got taken either into drawdown or into loss. If they got taken into drawdown, their stops are still up there. They enticed shorts again with more there and more there. And again, we had another rejection happening today. And today in London, they've pulled up and they've taken the liquidity from every single short seller for the last 2 weeks. So this is either the start of the next leg up on Aussie New Zealand, or this is the mother of all liquidity runs and stop hunts ready for that final bearish engulfing and push back down to the 72. So remember what I was saying about this morning. I think this has now got the legs to get down to the 72 and put in a decent sized pullback. So that might be it. We'll see. The next 4 hours to 8 hours will be very telling. We're up at ADR. If we can get a push above ADR and scream past 150, etc., then yeah, might be totally wrong on this one. But looks like a really nice place to start taking shorts up there. Not quite extended. But it's been extended for absolutely ages. It's just been kind of going sideways. So pound Swiss, yen, yeah, so it's all the same thing. So all these are the Swissy and the yen on every pair, apart from the Euro Swiss didn't light up because those two move in tandem. Got very, very close though. So Swiss yen, CAD Swiss, Aussie yen, Aussie Swiss. So all those ADRs have all played out, all been profitable today if you took them. If you took them, well done. You're very, very brave, but they've all paid off. So there's nothing else hit on ADR today because obviously everything's just reverted. So 4 hours, we've got a few extensions now. And the hours, we had quite a few extensions. We looked at these obviously just before I went off air this morning. They've all completely reverted and played out. So if you took any H1 mean reversions this morning, well done. You banked them all, or you're in profit on them all. Same as the ADRs. So they've all done pretty well. So 4 hours. We've got a few setups now forming on the 4 hours. So Euro Swiss. That one is obviously nicely embedded to the downside based off the back of this Swiss franc movement from Friday and then obviously the continuation today. Now, interestingly, on the Euro Swiss, as opposed to all the others, they've only pulled back 50% of that move. Yeah. So if you look at all the other Swiss franc pairs, they've all pulled back the entire move. Yeah. We had that big move down. They've pulled the whole thing back. Yeah. Pound Swiss, virtually all of it. I mean, it's they've done a wick test basically. They've pulled right back to the wick before, and they've kind of moved the entire move back to where it was and kind of started again. Euro Swiss, they haven't done that. So they only managed to pull back 50%, and they've left a little gap in there. So this is still very, very, very weak. I wouldn't be really too interested in taking longs on this. As you know, I don't really long the euro. I'm always looking for short opportunities on the euro, like the one we had, which I took there. We still think, I think, need to come back and sort this gap. So today, 125 drop. I think we should see that. There is possibility this afternoon, obviously, that all of these yen moves that they've put in are going to actually now go. I think we'll get potentially more movement. So the market looked like it was dumping on Friday. It looked like it was dumping today. We had that little bit of news where the market's gone, oh, actually, it looks like it's going to be all right. But then they're going to turn around and go, actually, just because there's one news report that says they're going to sit down around a table does not mean that is not going to stop an invasion. So I've got a feeling we might see a little bit more money flying in for the yen and on the Swissy. So that Euro Swiss, I really wouldn't be too interested in long in that. Euro pound, again, same thing. It's a short. We were shorting it last week, and it's still playing out. I don't know if anybody's holding these euro shorts. I get out of them really quick because I just want to get the money in the bank. But if you are brave and you are holding these, I'd carry on. We've easily got a move down to there, I would imagine, today. Potentially, though, this is the euro. So continuation downside, make new lows and keep going. Euro yen, that was obviously nice one, nicely extended. We got extended on the 4 hour on the yen push. That's pushed back up again. So yeah, up to you if you want to long it, but I'm not really interested in longing the euro, especially against the yen, which could well have tons and tons pumped into it ahead of potential invasion. So yeah, long it at your peril. Unless you obviously were playing the ADR reversals today, then well done. But no one could have ever foreseen that. That if that news announcement hadn't come out from Lavrov, this thing would have just gone into a symmetrical triangle dump. So this is a news reaction. We'll see what happens with those. Afternoon, Gary. Euro US dollar. So obviously this is the Dixie basically. We've had the push down, continuation. We are still continuing down. We've just filled that gap very, 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 very quickly. I would say continuation down on that because the US dollar is still pushing. Yeah, so US dollar's basically recovered the recovery. So we had the push, the panic, recovered. So Euro US dollar is basically the inverse of the US dollar index. So this has done obviously the inverse of what the US dollar index has done. So I'd still be looking for shorts on that. You wouldn't have taken that. Might have done. But yeah, I mean, nice tweezer tops and nice fill. But yeah, I think this one's got further move down. So no opportunities really for trading for me at the moment. None of those look good. I don't really want to be trading the euro long at all. And that's all we've got is extended euros. So not really interested in any of those. It's just a very, very difficult time at the moment to be trading. So it's one of those until kind of Wednesday and we see what happens with the news over the next 48 hours. You are kind of a little bit in the hands of in Russia at the minute. So just be very, very careful. I'd be long bias US, short bias everything against the yen. Short bias everything against the Swiss franc. Just until we get some confirmation. Aussies and pounds carry on as normal. CAD carry on as normal. But the other pairs, I'd be a little bit careful on your direction, or just take very short-term trades with tight stops, just in case, because you're going to get stuff like this happening. And obviously, you can make some decent money. I made some nice money out of that this morning. Bank 3%. As soon as I saw that spike go in, I was on it here. So as soon as I saw that, I got in there, rode it all the way up to there. I took lots of positions, on, off, as I saw that pushing up. So lots of tiny little scalp moves See, I scalped it on the way down as it came down this morning, and I scalped it on the way back up when we had that news, and now it's going nowhere. So I think this afternoon I'm going to be looking for shorts and futures this afternoon. I think I've got this feeling New York is going to open worried, scared, confused, and I've got a feeling they're going to start selling stuff off. So I think I'm looking for shorts today, but I'm going to give the market first 5 minutes, see what it does, and then might jump on some quick shorts, see if we can make some quick bucks today. But that's really all there is. There's nothing much else to look at today. So we're kind of back to where we were this morning. It's a really weird day. Really weird day. Just, this is where we were this morning. We started selling off. We're back there. I've no idea which way the market's going, really. It's just in a bit of confusion, isn't it? Anybody got any other things they want to look at? Any pairs in particular that they want to analyse? Let's have a quick look at what's happened to crypto. Nothing. No movement on crypto. Little bit bullish on Ethereum. That's it. Gold. Gold's rallying. A bit of a rally on gold, which is good. So we would expect that to be dropping on US dollar strength, and it's obviously pushing. So see what I mean? This is what I was saying about this morning. Money flows into tangible assets when there is risk in the air, and gold is obviously the biggest tangible asset traded out there. So even though the US dollar is pushing, which typically you would expect gold to do the inverse because it is crossed with the US dollar, gold is pushing at the same time as the US dollar. So there's a lot of money flooding in here. There's a lot of Russian money in gold as well. They've got a lot of, they hold a lot of gold. So they hoard it. They build everything out of it as well. So yeah, good moves on gold if anybody's long on that. I was saying about being long on gold, and it's playing out quite nicely if you are, but early days today. We'll see what happens this afternoon. So that's all I've got really from a market perspective this morning. I'm going to be trading some futures this afternoon. Market is opening in 10 minutes. So I'll boot up Ninja Trader. We'll have a look at what is going on there. Banks 680 on Friday. Good day on Friday. Rahat, I studied Apex. Their terms seem pretty flexible, but I never trade futures or used Ninja. Would you please give your guidance? And can you use your scalper EA with Apex? No. No. My EA that I'm developing is for MT4. So it's nothing to do with Ninja. You don't need it in Ninja. You got buttons in Ninja. To do stuff with. I can't really give you much of a guide in Ninja Trader. It's a massively powerful software package. I would say go to YouTube if you want to know about Ninja Trader. Go to YouTube, study it. It's very, very different to MetaTrader. In its interface is very different, but the way it works with indicators are still the same. You've got volume in here, which is proper volume from the markets. Futures are basically futures contracts traded through the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It's just a different way of trading, but at the end of the day, it's candlesticks, same as everything else, price action. So it's all the same sort of stuff. Apex are really good for futures. If you want to trade futures and you want to trade with a prop firm, the choices at the moment are Top Step, Lilu, Apex. I'm not sure who else. There's a few others out there, but Lilu and Apex are the main. Rhythmic based. There's a software called Rhythmic which plugs into your brokerage account. If you want to go top step provide you with TraderVate, but you can also use NinjaTrader with top step as well for futures. But the reason I like Apex is they are much more flexible. With the amount of contracts you can trade, there's no scaling. With Top Step, when you get funded, you then need to scale, so you can only trade 2 contracts. If you accidentally trade 3, they take your account away. There's all sorts of stuff which is more difficult with Top Step. Apex are interested in, you've got a 3K, well, depending on your account size, you've got a loss limit you mustn't hit. That's it. Apart from that, do what you like. You can trade 20, you can trade a set number of micro contracts, minis, micros, and you can trade a set number of full-size futures contracts. So you have a limit on the number of contracts you can trade. But if you try and overtrade, it won't let you. You can't blow your account because you've hit that button with 15 contracts and you only got 10 you can trade with. It'll go, no, can't do that. So it's much more restricted and controlled. They make it difficult for you to fail. There's no news filters. Do what you like. Trade when you like. Trade at the open. You don't have to, like with Top Step, they limit you. You've got to have X amount of your profit spread over X number of days. If you do 90% of your profit in one day, they'll go, nah, actually, that's lucky. You need to do this. If you scalp positions but don't hold them for more than 20 seconds, i.e. if I get in short, it goes boom, and I get out. If I made $2,500 on that move, they would say, nah, it's less than 20 seconds. Sorry, you're not having that. There's loads. Top Step are just very, very rule heavy. People like Apex and Lilu aren't. So, but that's my opinion. That's why I went with Apex. But you can go with who you like. But you're limited with futures. Any tips to reach the daily goal of Apex? Cut your losers quickly, let your winners run, scale into your winners. Basically. So when I'm trading and I get into a position, you'll see me, if you've been in here, you've seen me trading here. I get into positions. When it goes my way, I add to my positions. And then I scale out of my positions when my positions work. If my positions go against me, I cut them. Fairly quick. So limit it. Don't scale into losers. Futures is very different to a Forex and position trading. It's not very forgiving at all. This market can move you'll see at the open, this market moves very, very quick. If you're on the wrong side of it and you've got too many contracts on, you'll blow your account within minutes. If you're over leveraged, which is why I trade micros, because I can get into micros with a few contracts and then add a few more and add a few more. If I get in with a full size contract in the NASDAQ and it moves like that, I can be 800 quid in the hole instantly. And obviously that works your way as well. And you've also got to trade 10 days as well with Apex. So, they don't take lucky. You got to be consistent. Just make it small. Just look, try and make 300, 500 a day. And you can make that in one move. You've probably seen me many times get into a position, go 100 in loss, 150 in loss, and then get a $700 or $800 trade and make $500. If you do that, turn it off, walk away. As you saw me on Friday, if you were in here, I got up to what we knew we had that bag of sand joke, didn't we? I was, $30, $40 away from $1,000. I ended up with about 600 and something because I overtraded. Gave 300 of it back. Very, very quick and easy to do. Afternoon, Tony. Sorry, late joining. Don't have to learn their way to trade. Don't you have to learn their way to trade? What do you mean by that? 3 minutes to the open. So let's have a quick look at where we are. This morning, obviously, we had a big down day on the indices. We'd pushed badly down, yeah. And then all of a sudden that news announcement came out out, and the market went, actually, yeah, okay. So we were seeing a load of selling off across the board, and they stopped selling off when we had that news announcement come out. So we've put in hammers at the moment. So we're following 2 down days on the S&P, 2 down days on the NAS. The S&P market structure has confirmed a double top, M pattern, and new low. So we are officially in a bear market at the moment there. Obviously here we pushed lower, a lower high and a lower low. Yeah. So again, we're in a bear market. So today, difficult call from here. There's a good chance that we might come up and try and test 146 and on the S&P sort of 147.50, something like that, 148, somewhere around there. What's that? 140. Sorry. 447.5. 475. So we may well push up and try and test this. We may go straight out the gates. New York may just go, nope, don't like it, and drop it. So we'll see what happens. But I'm short bias at the moment, so I'm looking for shorts. And we'll see what happens. So we've had a nice push. Sellers stepped in immediately there. That's all been filled. Buyers have stepped in at the moment there. Sellers have stepped in at the moment there. So basically we've just pulled back and corrected this morning's moves, and we're accumulating, ready for the next move. So we'll see where we go. But very difficult one to call today. Tony, I mean Apex. Don't you have to learn their way to trade? No. No. You see, Apex don't teach you how to trade. Apex are literally a prop firm. You trade however you want. They just give you money. I think you're thinking of the Apiary Fund. They're nothing to do with Apex. Apiary Fund, I think, yeah, you have to do a course with them and trade their strategy and their way of their methodology. Different thing. I think you might be thinking of a different company. Apex are just a prop firm like Lilu, like Topstep, FTMO, CTI. Literally, if you can trade, they will fund you. Right, so we are open. Do I want to go 5 minutes or not? What should I do today? Let's have a look at 1 minute. Okay, going long out the gates. Just going to see where we head in the first 5 minutes. So 145.06. So basically 4,500's really our kind of upper resistance if we're going to continue moving down. It's going to take quite a bit to get up there in a couple of hours. S&P. Yeah, we've got a long way to go back up there. Okay, can try one short out the gates, see if we can get a fast push down. Nice rejection on the S&P. Bear in mind, this is the minute chart and this is the 5-minute chart on the S&P. Adding one more. Okay, so it's only 5-minute low. There's no earnings today, so there's nothing really to manipulate this from an earnings perspective from Friday or from this morning. Okay, it's the 5-minute low in. So there's our 5-minute opening range. Let's see where we go from here. Big old whipsaw on the S&P. Going to have one more short if we pull back up and then look like we're going to drop out the open. Closing one. Nope. Flat. Don't like the look of that. Okay, there's the opening range on the S&P in as well. So holding these highs for the minute. Looking heavy on the S&P. I'm going short one again. Just going to keep it tight on these highs here. If we break these highs, we could well pop out the top quite quick. So I'm just getting ready to exit this up at those highs if we do get up there. So we've got bullish structure at the moment, but we're holding these highs at the moment. No, doesn't look like it. Out. Flat. That's not a good start, is it? Do I want to flip long? Where are we going if we go long? So it's 4,500 basically up. What do we think? Long or short today? Tricky market today. Tricky market. Really don't know which direction we're planning on heading today. Have we done the range today? We've put in a massive old range already today. Is this it? Are we just going to sort of rotate around today, or are we going to try and push back up? Really don't know what the market's thinking at the moment. Doesn't seem to be thinking much at the moment either. It's sitting there in the 5-minute range, so a lot of indecision at the open. S&P can't get out. And as is trying very hard. Got 2 minutes left on this candle. Okay, we have broken above. Okay, try one more short. And again, one more short. So basically, I'm playing. We so many times we see in New York our push and drop out of New York, and we do it all the time at the minute. I'm just trying to play that short out the gates. If I haven't managed to get that move in the first sort of 15 minutes, I'll give up trying to get it basically. But very, very, very undecided at the moment, the market. S&P looks like it wants to push. So one more at highs. Get ready to exit if we break these highs. Nah, I'm out. Rubbish. Looks like we're going long. Okay, so still haven't broken out this high yet. We've still got another 3 minutes yet. S&P hasn't broken the high. Neither has this one. It's broken but not held. So if we break the highs on this 5-minute candle, I think we're probably heading up to 4,500. So I flip my bias long. This area here, 293. is going to be critical as a high. So we'll see what happens there, and if we manage to hold that level. S&P is still struggling up at those highs. S&P's rejecting the highs again. No decision, no direction in this. Afternoon, Chris. Busy doing the recap. It's a bit of a mess this morning. Nobody knows what the hell's going on. Russia needs to either press the button or not. It's confusing the hell out of everybody. Short three. Getting ready to get out very fast. I've got in with 3/4 of my normal size on my first position because I forgot to change my contract size. Be nice if this one would drop. I'm not going to give this one more than a couple of bricks wiggle room. A bit too big there. Okay, so we've got a nice rejection of the highs. Got in a little bit too quick there. Got burnt a few too many times too fast. So let's see if we can hold a short here. Looking for 40.60 as a low. $40.30 ultimate low at the moment. S&P retesting the 5-minute lows. So we've got to get cracking through this zone here. This is where all the buyers are. So when we had this this initial drop out of London, we had this big long accumulation. This is where they basically, everybody either got stung and taken out, or the buys basically held. So anybody that's long here still is going to be sitting here waiting to add into their positions. So if we see a load of rejection out of here as we did there, it would indicate there's a lot of longs interest today. Looks that way at the minute on the NAS, but I need the S&P basically to break down, and that'll drag the NAS with it. $44.65 to $44.45, good zone. Jesus. Giving back all Friday's profit at the minute. Stretching those lows. No. Out flat. Can't read this today. Don't want to give all the profit back. Neck wicks of daily M. What does that mean? Oh, the level 44.65 to 44.45. Yeah. Any of these could reject today. If we get there, the moment the market hasn't got any direction, it doesn't know what the hell it's doing at the open. We're literally just exchanging contracts and taking everybody's cash at the open. Everybody's getting slaughtered. So there's no directional bias whatsoever at the minute. It's totally thrown everybody that move. Just wiki. Does want to go long. It looks like it wants to go long, but then it looks like it wants to go short. You kind of need to be trading a lot higher time frames with this at the minute. Waiting for some direction. Okay. I'm flipping long. I'm going to flip long. I'm going to hold. I'm going to see if I can build a position and hold it long. I'm going to assume we're going to come up and test. Test this area. It's my fib from the other day. Get rid of that. Okay, second contract, broke the highs. Going to add a third on a break of the highs again. And then hold those three and see if we can get a push to the long. See if we can get a move. So looking for continuation of market structure, basically. So kind of pull back and push if necessary. It might just push, but if we're going to go long, we've got plenty of room on both of these to go for a nice little run today. Three long. Okay, so there's our higher levels. First one is 357. I'm just reading some Telegram Discord posts in another group that I'm in. There's an awful lot of memes out there at the moment. People very pissed off. Everybody's just got chopped to bits at the open, including me. It's funny. I think that's the one good thing to come out of social media. Memes. All good fun. Okay, we've got 1 bar pullback. S&P still not managed to get out of its 5-minute opening range yet. Okay, looking for a wick test back down to this 5-minute candle low, 295.50. I want to see some rejection there. S&P still not managed to break these highs yet. Shalk, did I take that £5,000 short position? No, I didn't. I was talking about that this morning in the live room. I did take it, and I did start to scale into it, but then I saw so much profit on the table, I had to take it off. I couldn't hold it. I'm too scared to hold it. I'm not a swing trader. I don't do holding that long. I can't. So yeah, I banked it. I doubled the account. So I took it from a 3k to 5.8. I pulled out 2.8, and I put 3 back into the into this account. Not this account. This account, which I'm just starting. I've increased that by 20% now as well. So that's the 3k I had left over. So yeah, I haven't managed to hold it. I'm not brave enough to hold. Because what will happen is that 5k will be suddenly be sitting there as a 10 or a 15k. I can't sit there holding it. It's just too much money to let go if it does go the wrong way. So, yeah. The plan is there though. It's doing exactly what I want it to do. Yeah, which is what we said. We're going to drop. We're going to put the first leg pull back in, and we're going to drop. It is doing it. Yeah, so this is the second leg is underway. We've made a new low. It's all looking good. The plan is still there, but I can't leave it. So basically what I'm doing is I'm shorting the market every pullback. So I got in again up here and made a nice little profit out of that. And I'll keep shorting every pop. But I'm taking it off and putting it on, taking it off, putting it on. So I'm going to make decent money on it if it continues to do it. But and this is why I'm struggling now to buy this thing, because I'm short on this thing as a bias. But this reaction that we've seen today is off of the back of the news, of the Russian news. So it looks like the market wants to have a little bit of a rally and a pullback now. But I'm just seeing a lot of indecision at the moment. It's just dangerous. It's very dangerous trading this because it's at any moment this thing could just come down and we could just put this move back in place, which is what we've done. Yeah, we've done this so many times, haven't we? We had a lovely bull candle. This candle here, this red one, was a hammer, and then it went vroom, New York, completely reversed the whole thing, which looks like it's what it's doing again now. Going bearish engulfing on this. Got 1 minute left on this candle. I've given it too much leeway. I didn't want it to go down there. I wanted it to wick test, and it's done that. I'm going to just wait and see if this ends as a bearish engulfing. If this ends as a bearish engulfing, I'm going to exit. I'm going to give it until the end of the candle. Might regret this. It's probably going to cost me $100, but just can't make its mind up today at all. Yeah, okay, we didn't get it. Just watching these lows, basically. Bottom of this wick. We're just retesting this area. We didn't quite get a bearish engulfing. We kind of did. We didn't. Yeah, it's pushing lower. No. Oh, whoa. Okay, now I'm flat. I can't read this today at all. I have no idea where they're going today. To me, it looks like the low of the day's in. But we've had this looking like the low of the day's in before, and they've just taken the whole thing back recently. So I am biased short on it, but I just don't like the way this is playing out. Market structure's long. So we're either going to pull back to here and then go, but I don't want to buy it when we're pulling down like this. It's too strong. Okay, so we're touching into this this area now on the S&P. So looking for S&P to pull back and then show signs of being bearish. If it does that, then looking for shorts. But at the moment, I really don't know which way this is going. So I'm just going to give it a few minutes to figure itself out. Today looks like a scalping day. Yeah, very low. I've been trying to scalp it. I should have been in and out faster, basically. I'm trying to catch the play today, but I should be in and out faster than this. Doesn't seem to be an awful lot of buying resistance down here. There's not a lot of movement going on. Looks to me like the sellers are just able to push. So I got $250. I allow myself $1,000. If I get $1,000 down day, I'm out. So I want to be super short. This next trade is what I want to do. So I'm going to give it 10-15 minutes and wait for a pullback to form to go short. Maybe this candle actually, if we can get a pullback. Decent pullback to fill this gap. Sticking a limit up there for a test of that wick. See if we can come back up. Start to build a position short. Super chop, yeah. It is super chop today. Super choppy at the open. There's a lot of people getting burnt today. I love social media groups. Right. Don't seem to be pulling back just yet. Gone into a bit of a go slow at the moment. Let's have a quick look at what the markets are up to. So US dollar is pulling back at the open. Trying to push back up now. Dow is coming down. Let's look at that smaller time frame. Big drop on the Dow. Big drop. DAX is still holding high at the moment, so potentially flagging. Obviously, as we know, these two are completely undecided at the moment. It's interesting that the Dow is coming down a little bit harder than the other two, so definitely a lot of sellers around. So looking for a much bigger move basically today to the downside. If we are just going to take the highs and run, which is what we've done so many times in New York over the last couple of weeks. So if I can get into short and get a position into profit, I'm going to hold it and try and hold it for the afternoon. Thanks to your indicator, it's keeping the trades on the right side of the trend. That's good. You're scalping with it, I take it. There's quite a few people scalping with the market reversal alerts indicator on the 1 minute chart. Okay, so we got an inside bar formed and a gap now. So this is a classic 2 inside bar formation starting. Looks like I'm getting into one short. There's one short. So don't want to see the high of that invalidated. And I'll add on again on a break of the low. Add again if we break the low here. Still probably going to get a down day today. Going to need a fairly decent move to get back into profit today. So I'm looking for an M pattern here. So I want the Dow to come back up and retest and then reject here and push lower. Very similar to what what we just had on the S&P. So just retesting this wick. So all the sellers that accumulated at the open broke out here. So looking for them to add into their positions here. Push price back down. It's one of those days today, I can feel it. Feel it in my bones. Selling one more DAX. So if we are going to get the M pattern here, that's what I'm looking for. So that'll be a high, low, lower high, and then looking for a lower low to be put in. So adding an additional position up there. If I'm right, That's going to get me in faster. If I'm wrong, obviously there's not much loss on that second position if we do push up higher. S&P sellers are doing a good job at the minute holding that position. So's the Dow. Good selling pressure on the S&P. Okay, so Dow's just rejected as well. So I really want to see this just go straight away from there. If these sellers are going to step on the gas and push them down that far, we would expect them just to literally go straight for a bearish engulfing on this candle now. And if that happens, I'll be getting into another position. And then, assuming we get a confirmation push down below these lows, add another position. And then should be in a nice, decent amount of profit then to ride this back down to the lows. 14,060. There goes the S&P break to the low. So again, that wick important. Want to see that close and hold. Three short. Dow's coming down, challenging new low. It's not low of the day, is it? Yeah, it is low of the day. Yes, Dow's coming down to lower day. DAX is wanting to push as well. Okay, 2-bar pullback. It's looking for another bearish candle here. So we had a push, 1-bar pullback, push, 1-bar pullback. We had a 2-bar pullback. Want this to continue. Really strong bearish move to the downside. Did anybody get anything exciting for Valentine's Day today? I'm hoping for lots of red candles. Be the best Valentine's present I can get. Euro US dollar is coming down fairly hard at the open. Nice bearish engulfing on Euro US dollar. It's just challenging the lows as well. So a couple of pips away from low of the day on Euro US dollar. Obviously inverse to what the Dixie's doing. Dixie's challenging higher day. If we get that break, we might get that pop. If that pops and goes, the indices are both going to come down, or they're all going to come down today. So really, really nice if we can see this break in the next 5 minutes. That'll confirm hopefully a decent push back down on the indices this afternoon. US dollar Swiss is just breaking out to new highs. US dollar yen is trying to break out to new highs. Gold is flying. Anybody that did take gold this morning, that's off. Going very well. Seeing some rejection down here though. Not managed to get that level yet. Still got a couple of minutes left on this candle. Oh, Gary's got nothing yet. Yeah, I got some chocolates this morning and a nice tub of sweets, which I'm sitting here scoffing. I made sure I had a really, really light lunch, a couple of 100 calories for lunch, so I can scoff a load of sweets this afternoon. Planning. And I got some really nice whiskey glasses and a nice bottle of Japanese whiskey. Which I shall obviously have to sample this evening, especially if this goes to a bag of sand in the opposite direction. Come on. There's a lot of buyers coming through. We've got real indecision in this market at the moment. Real indecision. Okay. Got the bearish engulfing, but we didn't get a break and hold of the low. Inside bar on the NAS. It's real. There's no conviction in any direction at the minute still. Doing the wrong thing this afternoon, trying to build a position here. I'm trying to build a position to get a move, and we're not getting any moves. I should really be scalping in and out for $100 at a time. Trying to just chip this back away, but still feels heavy, but not heavy enough. Euro US dollar still pushing. Dixie is attempting highs. So if we get this pop on the Dixie, we'll get a pop down on the indices. Let's see if we get that on the 5 minute. So we are literally at that level. There we go. We got a pop through there. Let's see if we can get a pop and actually get through it. Nasdaq's coming down 60s now. 260, 255. Come on. No, struggling. Rejecting the highs. Rejecting the lows. Don't look at this at the minute. Okay, got a nice little pop down there. Sellers coming in. Just really want to see this level broken, this 225, and then 212. Okay, we're back up retesting the highs on the Dixie. We've got a nice triple top here, which is just struggling, really struggling to get through. Don't want to see it reject off of there and come back down, because that's just going to push the indices back up again. Jeez. Still got 2 minutes left on this candle. Looking like we're putting an inside bar in again. No, going bullish. God. Right, I'm going to hold this to 1,000 and then I'm out. I'm going to call it there. Can't trade this anymore today. It's just chop. No direction. It's either going to go with me or I'll get out and take the loss. Come back, fight another day. So see if we can break back down below this high before the candle close. If we do, we've got half a chance of dropping. Rejecting the highs on the US dollar. Dow's pushing up, rejecting an attempt on the new lows. Three inside bars. We're on an inside bar here basically. So this candle here. This is where we are stuck at the minute, holding within there. So we're on our fifth inside bar after we started the rejection from the highs. So there's just literally nothing. The market has got no clue really today where we're going until it really gets a break above or below those levels. I can't just sit here and get chopped around in this. It's just going to cost too much money. Please tell a little bit about you. Have you done the boot camp, Rahat? The first module, there's a lot of about me in there. Did you study in Forex or something else, or you came into this later? So basically, I'm a programmer. I'm a salesman, actually, by trade, but a programmer, web programmer. And got into Forex, well, got into stocks basically about 13 years ago. Traded stocks for a bit, flicked over to Forex, traded Forex for a bit, then flicked back to stocks again, and a little bit of futures, options, but not much. And basically done every course under the sun, bought every indicator under the sun, studied every indicator under the sun, blown up multiple accounts, quit 3 times, come back to Forex, gone back to stocks. And then basically I got to a point about 4 years ago where I left a mentor that I had to go and study Elliott Wave, where I then was break-even trader, doing really well. Just started to become profitable, and then decided to flick strategies again and went backwards. So I scrapped everything I was doing, stopped, and got every single course, manual, document I've ever created in my life. I've got a massive folder on my hard drive of videos, PDFs, you name it. I've studied everything basically. And I got them all and went through everything and dragged everything out of that made sense to me. And I got those bits, kept them, made my own strategy up using those bits. And basically that's where I got to today. I've probably looked at charts for somewhere in the region of 30 to 50,000 hours. So it's just a case of chart time, education, the usual. But I've stuck with it for 13 years. Most people give up after 2 to 3 when they haven't made it, which is the norm. Most people that are profitable, consistently profitable traders, everybody that I know is somewhere between 3 to 10 years. I've never met a consistently profitable trader with less than 3 years experience. I'm sure they're out there. But even institutional traders, you won't find an institutional trader that's profitable within 3 to 5 years. It doesn't happen. Well, not I've found it anyway, but you got to be very lucky. Anyone can be lucky. You know, there's a lot of lucky traders out there. You can have a lucky 3 months, you can have a lucky 6 months, but having a lucky 12 months is very, very difficult to pull off. If you can have a 12-month period where you don't lose any money, and that was my first turning point, where I went a year and didn't lose any money. I didn't blow an account, basically. That year I didn't blow an account. I was like, I've made it. I haven't blown an account this year. Didn't make any money, but I was break even, which meant that I'd learned how not to lose money. First step, learning not to lose money. That's the big one. So just waiting to see if we can break this high. But yeah, I'm no different to anybody else. I've been through the mill. I've studied under many mentors. I've had one-to-one mentoring. I've had group mentoring. I've done all the big courses out there. I've done all the small courses out there. I've spent probably somewhere between £15,000 to £25,000 in education. None of it made me profitable. What made me profitable was some bloke telling me to sit in front of charts for 10,000 hours, and I did that, and all of a sudden I became break even. It's got nothing to do with systems, nothing to do with strategy, all to do with mentality and understanding market movement. There's no indicator under the sun that will make you profitable. There's no strategy under the sun that will make you profitable. Look at what I'm doing now, losing money. But this is long term, is the goal, to make money. It's just the mindset and knowing how the market moves. Yeah, the market moves in waves, as we know. Buyers buy, then they sell. Buyers buy, then they sell. Then more sellers come in. The buyers buy, the sellers overtake. The buyers buy, the sellers overtake. The sellers take profit, sell more, take profit. Then the buyers step in. It's market structure. The only way you will ever understand market structure is by sitting in front of this thing and seeing this put in a new low and going, I'm short because we put a new low in. Getting in up here because you're expecting and anticipating a new high, and then getting the move. It's being ahead of the market. That's the thing that really, really clicked with me the first time. Yeah, when everybody's buying and you see price going up, that's when you sell, not the other way around. Everybody sees price going up and they buy it. And then it comes back down again. They're like, well, why the hell did that happen? I'm going to get out. And then they go short and then it goes up. Of course it's going to do that because you're following the 95% that lose the money. Yeah. I sold here and here as price was moving up, waiting for it to come down. I'm anticipating that. Every indicator under the sun tells you what happened there. I'm anticipating what's going to happen next. That's the difference. And that's what my position trading strategy is. Yeah. When I see everybody is in long and the crowd is going to go long, I sell short. Sell high, buy low. It's really that simple. It's all covered in the bootcamp. Everybody that buys has to sell. So as soon as I see everybody's bought, I start selling because I know at some point soon they're going to start selling too. Yeah. These guys have bought. These guys have bought. More likely they're going to start selling. At some point. I don't know when. Nobody knows when. You just have to guess. It's all guesswork. Nobody knows which way the market's going. You get in, you manage your position. That's really all you can do. You can't use any indicator or strategy to tell you which way the market's going to go. They'll give you an idea and they'll give you signals as to when things are going to happen or when things are happening. And you use those to make an educated guess on where you think it's possibly going to go next. But yeah, that's what I learned. As soon as I stopped trying to find an indicator that could predict the market for me, I made money. So I built indicators that backed up my theory on what is happening next. And that's what I use. It's very simple. As you see, my strategy is very simple. Not this one. This is pure price action. Literally, I'm just trading price action here. Market should fall before it picks up. Yeah, hopefully. That's what I'm banking on anyway. But at the moment, we are stuck in this control candle and we are not going anywhere. So this is an accumulation ahead of the next impulse wave. I don't know which way the impulse wave is going to go. And I've got a 50-50 shot of being right. I'm in it 10 plus years and still not profitable, Christy. Yeah, I've been there. You will become profitable. The fact that you've been in it for 10 years and you're still in it means at some point soon your eyeballs will suddenly get this. They'll get it. They'll see, hang on a minute, we didn't make a new high. What's that forming? Yeah. And then your eyeballs will suddenly see that new low form and you'll go, I missed that move. And then one day, when you see that happening, you'll go, I reckon we might put an M pattern in, and you'll start selling it up here. And then all of a sudden it'll click. Like I did there, yeah? I sold it here. That candle, that wick there, right there. It's exactly where I sold it. Because I saw a bearish engulfing, which tells me there's a load of sellers coming into the market. We had a follow through and put in a new low, which told me that the sellers are in control. Those sellers are taking profit on that position. And as they want to scale into their positions, they will add here. I might be totally wrong, but that is what happens a lot of the time. And I'm taking a punt and joining these guys that started entering their positions there. If they're right, obviously there's no guaranteeing that these guys that did this are right. If they're right, I'm on the train with them. If they're wrong, I'm going to get out along with them, and they will all be getting out when we break that high because they will realize that they're wrong too. At the moment, we're just accumulating. We have been for the last 25 minutes. Trevor, Bootcamp course is gold. Yeah, well, Bootcamp's just my... Bootcamp's everything that I've learned that makes sense to me. And as I said in the Bootcamp, that's what you have to do in this industry. You have to take everything that makes sense to you and use it. If you go through my Bootcamp and learn 3 things you didn't learn before, my job is done. If those 3 bits of gold that I've learned are going to save you 3 years of doing it the other way, job done. It might take you another 3 years to get to where you want to be, but the faster you can get there, the better. And like I said, the one thing you need to take away is there's a video on YouTube. I think I even cover it in the Bootcamp. The only thing we know for sure is that the market's going to do that, and it's going to do that, and it's going to do it over that. Yeah, it goes up and it goes down and it goes through time. Apart from that, I haven't got a clue. Neither has anybody else. As soon as you resign yourself to the fact that you have no idea where this is going and you have no control over where this is going, you will suddenly start to go, okay, I just need to hit the button and hope I'm right. Because you literally have got, every time you hit that button, you've got a 50-50 chance of being right or wrong. You just need to make sure you hit the button at a time that is going to cost you less money if you're wrong and make you more money if you're right. Just about to start attempting a new low. God, look how far we've gone. So we've broken that low by 1 brick. S&P just made a new low. So I'm waiting to get into my fourth position. If we can break this low. which we can't at the minute. More rejection. Really, really, really undecided, this market today. Just cannot make its mind up. Let's see what the Dixie's up to. So the US dollar's still holding. We've double topped. So we have broken the high twice now. Just no follow through as yet, but we've got nice wicks to the downside. So again, we're stuck in the same range on the Dixie as we are on the indices. Just literally, they don't want to take it anywhere. If we do get the break, though, we are going to move to lows. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a decent move down if we can get a break today. But at the moment, we can't. Just have to sit here and wait. I'm going to have another marshmallow. I should be toasting these, really. Should have a lighter. In Apex, 4 contracts limit means I can't trade more than 4 pair or items per day. 4 contracts. Yeah, so each of these is a contract. Yeah, every time you hit the buy and the sell button, you're adding a contract. That's a contract. It's irrelevant what you trade your contracts on. And you can only have, if you're, depending on which account size you're looking at, if the limit is 4 contracts, it's 4 contracts at a time. So I'm 3 contracts short at the minute. I'm just about to get out of them. God, this thing's hideous. So basically, if you try and hit the button, if you've got a 4 contract limit and you try and hit the button to sell more than 4 contracts, it won't let you. So you can't trade more than you're allowed. Which is another beautiful thing about Apex, is they limit you. So you can't make that mistake. You can't accidentally break the rule. Which is very important when you've got a funded account. So many people complain about breaking rules on Top Step with their funded accounts. They do something silly by accident and they lose their funded account. And it's, a proper firm. If you were to trade in a prop firm with a bank or any large prop firm where you get a prop desk and you're paying like $2,500-3,000 to sit at a desk in a prop firm, which is how physical prop firms work. You have a desk fee, you pay them a desk fee to sit there and use their equipment and use their feed, etc., and use their capital. They will have systems in place which will stop stupid mistakes like Nick Leeson made with Barings Bank. Yeah, they stop them. They put systems in place to stop that happening, and that's what Apex does. Top Step doesn't, because they know that then you're going to go and pay another reset fee. It's all about making the money out of the resets. This is a scalper day, definitely. I could have made so much money scalping today. I probably would be about 1,000 up by now if I'd have scalped today. Should just be extracting $100, $200 out of the market every time it moves. This thing just looks like it wants to break in one direction or the other. At the moment, it looks like it wants to break up, and in a minute, it'll look like it wants to go down again. US dollar's still pushing, so we should still see some resistance coming through on the indices. Dow, same thing. We're just rejecting the lows. Looks bullish. Again, this is a good spot to be selling short. If we are going to stay in this range, this is where we want to short from. Selling one more. Whoops, I sold 3 there. I was set up ready to get out of this position with 3 contracts. Right, so there, you see, if you were in 4, that wouldn't have happened if you had had 4 contract maximum. I haven't. I've got a 21 contract maximum. I mean, I'll never use my contract maximum. I'll never get to it. I'm just going to get ready to get out of these fairly fast if that ticks up, because I've got way too much position size on now. But I'll take it if it drops. I'll have a look at the GU chart in a minute, Gary. I can't at the minute because I'm sitting on 6 contracts short with the bull candle. So I'm not going to flick charts just now because I need to be able to be on the button quick. Equally, if this goes down now into $200 profit, I'm getting out of 3 of these contracts. And that's another thing, going back to what we were talking about earlier with realizations in trading. Another thing you will realize selling 3 is half of this is luck. When you get in accidentally with too big a lot size like I did there, and it suddenly goes boom, boom, most people will go, you're lucky. Yeah, and I'll take it. And I'll put that luck in my pocket. Because when you hit that button and there is a news event like we had this morning, where you get a news event where there's a war brewing and all of a sudden they say, actually, we're going to sit down at a table rather than going into invasion mode, and the market spikes massively, and all of a sudden you're going 3 to 5% into profit on a position you were expecting to last for 2 days. You close it and you take it and you walk away. And that will happen a lot. You'll have very lucky days where you will make a lot of money because the market moved very, very quickly in your direction. And you take it. Like I said, it's 50-50 shot if it's going to go up or down. You've also got a 5 or 10% chance you're going to have a lucky candle. Those lucky candles go into the pot with all the rest. You take what the market gives you. You don't try and get out of the market what you want. You take what the market gives you. And if the market wants to give you a down day, you take a down day. On Friday, I took a $700 up day. Yeah. Day before that, I took a $300 up day. Day before that, I took a $400 day. You know, you take what you get given. If the market wants to chop you around and fling you out, you need to turn around and say, not today, thank you, and get out. And take that loss rather than overtrade and try and get that back. A lot of people will sit there now and hit the sell button and hit it again and hit it again until they either blow their account or they get that money back. That doesn't work if you've got a funded account. Again, it all comes down to the psychology part of it. You learn after you've blown an account 3 times, or if you're doing a prop firm evaluation, after you've done a prop firm evaluation 3 times and you've blown that account 3 times because of the same thing, you'll realize that's not going to work and you'll stop doing that. And it's just eliminating mistakes that makes you more profitable, not finding that one indicator or finding that one strategy that works. It's eliminating the things that make you lose. If you can eliminate what makes you lose, you'll win. Just pushing up to these highs. We've got 2 minutes left on this candle. This could be the break. I'm going to get out in a sec. I'm out. I'm out. I'm flat. I've had enough. This market's not me today. I'm going to take the loss. Pound US dollar. 1 minute. Yeah. Lovely scalpy. Scalpy. lots of opportunities in and out if you're using RSI scalping. But then you'll have days where RSI will get embedded like that. And as long as you realize that if you try and do that and it goes wrong and you get out, and then you try and do it again and it goes wrong and you get out, and you take those 2 losses and you go, this isn't for me, and then you move on, that's fine. If you try and scalp that long continuously while it's embedded and suddenly realize you've lost 12 to 15% of your account, you won't make that mistake again. Again, eliminating mistakes. But yeah, like Gary says, lovely rangy scalpy market today. Look at that range to scalp. Shooting star, bearish engulfing. But I can't trade this today. I've got a $3,000 loss limit on my account. That's more than that. Anyway, I've got a loss limit on my account, so I limit myself to 1,000 a day. So if I hit that, I'm out. There's no point in pushing it any further because I'm just going to blow it, which I don't want to do. There are many other pairs, also including bonds and currencies. So in Apex, you can trade a lot of stuff. You can't. You are limited. If you go and have a look on Apex's website, you'll see what you can and what you can't trade. You've got all the main futures. You've got oil. You've got the main FX futures. So 6B is the pound, 6E is the euro. You got crude. You got the S&P 500, gold, Nasdaq, the Russell. There's a few things you can trade. There is a limit though. There's a list of what you can and can't trade. So you just have to look it up. But again, it won't let you trade stuff. If you can't trade it, it won't let you trade it. Yeah, you can't accidentally trade something. It doesn't allow you to trade. You can only trade what you can trade. So again, they're in control. Looking like we're going bearish again. US dollar did break the high. So that would be indicative of a short on the indices at the moment, but we could just be range bound and come back down to here, which will push the indices back up. It's just too choppy. It's too slow, too choppy, too difficult to trade today. So giving up. FX wise, wrong one. That's a Dixie. FX wise, we are still flat across the board. So the only thing we got lit up is the euros. Euro pound is now extended on the hourly. But again, we've been extended on the hourly. Want to be shorting the pound. ADRs, no further movement, so they're all the same. Let's have a quick look at what the yens have been up to and the Swissies. Obviously not a lot since we've had the move, but yeah, obviously the rejection and back up into there, we are still holding. So we're range bound on the yens by the looks of things. Swissies, same, range bound. The market's just gone to sleep basically. It doesn't like that news today. Pound Swiss. So Swiss franc looks like it's powering up. We've got some bearish movement on all the Swissies. US dollar Swiss is pulling back. New Zealand Swiss. So a bit of Swiss franc strength coming through. A little bit of yen strength starting to come through. But that's about it. Everything else is sideways. Choppy, wicky, horrible. So, good luck if you're scalping this afternoon. I would make sure that you're using wide stops and small position sizing if you're going to scalp. That's the other downside to futures as well, Rahat, while we're talking about futures. You are limited to what you can trade, yeah? So I can hit the button here and minimum I can enter is 1 contract. So when I get in, every tick is a $5, right? So if I hit the sell button now, you'll see, 150 because I'm trading micros. But if you're trading larger contracts, there's more financial rewards or losses. So that is literally the minimum you can do. So unlike Forex, where I can enter a 0.01 and I can scale in, my scaling in on here on futures has to be in single contracts. So you can't get in with anything smaller than that. So what I was going to say was, if you're going to trade and scalp this afternoon, just keep your lot sizing small and give yourself a wide berth, basically, because this is choppy as hell. So give yourself a wide berth so you're not getting stopped out. And get in small. Might leave that short on. I'll tell you what I do. I'll leave that like that. See if that plays out. Bitcoin picking digital information channel. That's a good name. You're obviously plugging a channel of some kind. The Bitcoin picking digital information channel. It's a bit of a mouthful. Could you not thought of something a bit shorter? Good evening, anyway. I'm going to have to abbreviate your name to BPDIC. No, I won't abbreviate it anymore. I'm going to get out of that because I don't want to be in that. Close. Right, I'm going to call it a day there. Because I'm not making any money trading futures this afternoon. So I might have a little stab on Forex, where I can use smaller lot sizing and get into some contracts with smaller sizes, basically. Big stops. I want to use big stops, so getting in with tiny positions with big stops, because I still think we've got some movement on these this afternoon. But I think the movement is probably going to be coming later in the day today. So when we quite often get an end of day sell off, if you look on the lower time frames. So towards the mid-end of New York, you get that move. Yeah. So I think we're probably going to get a move sort of mid to end in New York, one way or the other, but likely sort of an accumulation until then. So I might try and play an end of day move if I see one starting to happen, but with much smaller sizing, basically. Because look at these wicks. Look at these wicks. It's just utter hell. Look at it. Awful. Murder. Just basically algorithms accumulating positions. So I think we're going to get a move. Just don't know when, don't know how. So I'm going to give up. Gary, okay, cheers, see you tomorrow. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. Keep an eye on the news this afternoon. Obviously, there could be some more news coming out from Russia or from the Ukraine. So you need to keep your eyes peeled on that, because that will have an impact on what goes on in the markets. The markets, as I said, at the moment, they've been selling off, they've been buying back, they've been selling off. They don't know what the hell they're doing at the minute. So very, very risky time to be entering anything long term as well. 2:30 tomorrow morning, we have got monetary policy for Aussie dollar, so we could see some Aussie dollar movement. We've got Lagarde this afternoon, so keep your eyes peeled on that in 15 minutes. Euro, we could get some movement off of Lagarde. Unlikely, but we might do. So the only thing we've got tomorrow morning to worry about is the Aussie overnight, so keep an eye on those. And then we've got PPI tomorrow afternoon for the US dollar. And then obviously we're into Wednesday with FOMC, retail sales and everything. So Wednesday's the big day this week. But to be honest, at the moment, anything can happen at any time. So it's really a case of just be very, very super cautious out there, because you are either going to get chopped about or you are going to get some big moves. And either way, you want to be ready, because obviously you're going to need to take profit fast or get out of things fast at the minute, because it's all a bit up and down. All right, so have a good afternoon. Hopefully have a better afternoon than I did. And I will be back tomorrow morning at 8:30, and we'll see if we can have a more successful day tomorrow. All right, so have a good one. Keep it safe, and I will see you 8:30 tomorrow morning.